I was. A warm welcome back to Sin City for more of the 2026 U.S. Poker Open. From where else but inside the PokerGO studio here at Aria Resort and Casino. Another one of these $10,000 no-limit Hold'em final tables. And here at Event 6, another appearance by that man, Brock Wilson. More on him in a moment. Ali Najad alongside Brent Hanks with the call. Just 5 players at today's FT, but that is the player upon whom we are fixated, not simply due to the fact that he is second in the overall series standings right now between his girlfriend, Cherish Andrews, and he, just 11 points. Regardless of his finish here, he will leapfrog her into the lead, 224 points to whomever wins this one. But look at these chip counts, 4 million plus in front of Brock Wilson. A fairly distant second is the Booth Brethren, Nick Schulman, followed by Clemen Deng, Jeremy Becker, and then Justin Vaysman bringing up the rear. There is the Hall of Famer himself, Nick Schulman. And of course, Jay Bex, 2-time PGT title winner. He looks prepared for battle or to issue a citation to a speeder. Unclear which. Here's a look at the payouts. Michael Burke and Darren Elias, the most recent departures, $56,000, the on-tap payout, 20 dimes between 5th and 4th, and then we work our way all the way up to $224,000 to whomever emerges victorious here today. Heaps of talent upon which to feast our eyes, and Level 18 gets underway. 25, 50, and 50. An ace for Becker to start things off, Brent.
Not quite our shortest stack, but he and Vaysman, two of the shortest at this table. And look at this. Kings right away for Justin Vaysman out of Pennsylvania.
Ace 8 suited for Schulman in the big.
Yeah.
He will proceed. 50K defense against that min raise. And he finds a couple of spades on a queen high board. Brace for some impact here.
Oh, this is getting in. Inevitably, Schulman very content to want to play for stacks. And of course, these Cowboys, they want to dance. What does Schulman want to do? Just call or play for it all?
75,000 the C-bet. Schulman's so deliberate, so thoughtful. One of the most studied players out there. So if he makes a decision, it's almost assuredly the right one. Up to 200,000 the check raise, paving the way for Vaysman to plow the rest of it in here. Unclear, though, if he wants to make it happen now or on the turn. Just another glance back to verify that it is indeed two kings with the king of spades, no less, that he's working with.
Here we go.
He's going to rip it. Obviously, eyes on the queen or the spade draws. It is the latter as we're on our backs in the very first pot of this final table of event number 6. Vaysman at risk, $1.5 million in the middle. Tense moments for the Horsham, Pennsylvania Villanova grad. Accounting and analytics, his specialty, but holding with kings, not. As he draws dead on the turn, and what a short-lived tenure it would be here for Justin as he is showered in 5th. No fault of his, though.
It's just a cooler. The money had to go in. One and done. This party has started here in event number 6.
Well, La Fiesta is certainly how Nick Schulman is feeling about things. A very celebratory takedown. Narrowing the gap between himself and chip leader Brock Wilson.
I'm due.
You are incredibly due.
I don't even think I've hit one card yet.
I mean, it's not that easy to just feel like you have jacks and there they are.
I went 1 for 1 the other day. I'm like, oh, this shit is fucking cake.
Yeah.
200.
I don't know if you saw this, the wide shot.
Talk to me.
The shoes that young Becker is, I believe those are bowling shoes that are on his feet. They look down there under the table.
Now, it's important, Big Earn, to point out that there has been this massive kind of popularity surge in bowling in the high-stakes community, and Schulman very much a part of it. I would imagine Bex as well.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Old Nicky, by the way, he's sharpening the pencil out on the lanes. It isn't just, you know,
there's
rolling
action.
the ball. There's, you know, there's some handicapping.
Little accounting.
Yeah, sure. The books, if you will. Booking it up to 1 1/4 is Schulman on the heels of that capital infusion. Jack 6 suited. Becker deliberating. 705. He has inherited short stack duties.
Lieutenant Becker.
All in.
There it is. All of it.
And all out is Nick.
Wrong again.
I was 1 for 2 though.
Ace of clubs? Not the club.
Ace of spades.
Okay.
Let me have one.
Yeah.
Nick, I saw you 14x 3-bet as big stacks in the Venetian. I think I'm going to take a page out of your book and do
I decided I'm not going to do that today.
No?
I'm done with that one.
It didn't work out too well first
I'm
time?
just calling. Like, I don't want to get it. Even aces. Just, I need to see a flop now after that.
A safe flop.
The 14x 3-bet?
Maybe a little bit of a needle. I believe Schulman was running deep in a WPT event over at the Venetian. May have stone bubbled the final table, and it was like a 14x.
I got an aces for 153.
There it is.
Remember that now. 153?
Yeah.
It
How
was
many bets went in?
4.
Oh, it was.
But it's what Brock was the cutoff open. I raised huge, big stack, and he
It
was
was
all
the
in.
Greg Brown guy.
Yeah.
And there were just a lot of, like, it was a really ridiculous
Yeah.
153 bigs when, a lot of people did not have one.
Poker tournaments
tenth
are
of
not for the faint of heart. They're just not.
that. No.
Saw the chip denominations there briefly. Should be familiar with them by now in this third day of coverage of this year's U.S. Poker Open. But we have 5Ks, we have quarters, we have hundreds, blues, purples, and yellows, respectively.
And we've got 8s.
That we do.
Wow. Good.
And a bit of a tailwind as Becker
It was sick.
snacked on Schulman's open moments ago. Now looking to sink some teeth into these blinds. Opens to 105. Queen Jack for Clemen Deng. A lot of youth at this table, by the way, Brent. All of, well, not all. Brock Wilson is 31, but the, Vaysman 27, Clemen Deng 28, Becker 29 years of
Yeah,
age.
Schulman is old enough to be their father,
Not quite.
and he's only 41.
Yeah, I don't know about siring children at 10 years of age.
Oh, no, he was
12 years of
active young,
age, but
yeah.
Right.
Right.
Let's see how active Deng wants to get here with top pair after he defended his big. Becker, despite the presence of those 2 overs, does take a little swing here. 130, just in the hopes Deng has not connected.
Yeah, it's understandable. This type of texture should be mostly Becker. It just gets weird whenever it goes bet call when you've got those 2 8s pending run out.
280.
This should let Becker off the hook. Should.
280. The check raise. Deng trying to keep things straightforward.
And, these 8s, obviously we don't like them at this point, but also you remove cards that Deng could be semi-bluffing with these check raises. Hands like 8-9,
Good point.
Queen 8.
And then you have a dirty out if you're up against Queen 9.
Right.
Little pickup there for the $6 million man. Clemen Deng, originally from Portland, Oregon, now lives in Philly. Former software engineer,
got
UPenn
a
grad,
Zaki hat
4-time
on?
PGT title winner.
Why is it a Zaki hat?
I saw Zaki wearing it. I don't know if you.
Into
I don't think he
chess
has
and
this one. He
technology.
has this brand for sure.
Okay.
He has a lot.
This is 28th PGT cash, 14th PGT final table, 4th US Poker Open cash, and 3rd USPO final table. So when he does make the money, he tends to run deep. There are certainly those players, Brent, who we are accustomed to showing up at FTs with heaps of chips, and that is very much a function of play style. I think when you get down toward the bubble portion of the program, accumulation or kind of a go for broke mentality, if you're not chip leading, can plant certain people into the final table.
Well, none better than this guy, Nick Schulman. In my opinion, when it comes to all-around poker, he is the greatest player in the world. I believe he's number 1. And I don't think anyone would tell you that that's wrong. They may have opinions that others could be up there and those names twirled around, but I just think overall tournaments, cash games, every single variant of poker, you name it, Schulman is number 1.
We're a little biased. We're both friends. We both work with them. But even the world's greatest high-stakes tournament players, or those who are strictly super high-rolling cash game players, but don't necessarily play the tournaments. People who only play no limit, but don't play mix. All of them can get behind the idea that this man does it all.
Every game, highest of levels.
Yep.
I don't even know. I mean, he might tell you that his best game is no limit hold'em, but I don't know if that's true. We've never really talked much about that. It's pretty much always no limit because that's the only language I speak. But maybe he's the greatest, stud 8 player in the world, Ali. I just don't know.
Well, one thing that we do know for sure is that Brock Wilson's 6'5" was always in a rough way against ace-6, and things have gotten rougher here on an ace-high board, where Becker's big blind defense yields fruit to the tune of top pair. Facing an 85K follow-through now, he gives things a chew. Flat call. Another 170 into the middle and a 7 now, providing open-enders to both camps. Becker thinking about this one, and he's going to lead. Even some of the better ace-X that Wilson has is going to be really shackled by 1 1/4. It'd be tough to find the raise. Big blind defending range could contain all the straights and 2 pairs.
It's so nice that he found this lead, especially given that we can all see the cards, right? You're pricing in the 6-5 and you're kind of free rolling. You just want to hold. You don't want to make a straight and chop it up, obviously. Wow.
Weird one on the end. Both players hit this 6 for 2 pair. It does put hearts out there, and neither player has a heart.
Yeah, the one-liner to the straight, the hearts. Now that we've sort of stepped out of line on the turn, which I loved from J-Bex, what now on this river, this texture? Can you bet small again and get called by exactly this type of holding that Wilson has without going all in? And what are we targeting, right? That's the other question. 6s and 7s, 5s and 6s.
Becker does end up checking it. When he does, you kind of take hearts and straights off the board, and if that's the case, one wonders what's on Wilson's mind here. Do we summon the 305?
Yeah, he's certainly thinking about it. I mean, it's a mergy sort of situation.
Didn't I already check?
Yeah, that's what I
I did, right?
Yeah.
Check.
And it does go check, check, but Wilson just concerned about what he can ever get called by that he's still beating.
And how about that for young Jeremy Becker, as he's pulled himself up to over $1 million in chips. Originally from New York, graduated from the University of Tampa, used to be a golf caddy. I know Nick likes to swing the club. Wonder whether or not he's solicited Becker.
I would wager that they've played a little bit of golf together, considering the bowling relationship.
The boys like to get their beaks wet.
Yeah.
Beyond the poker pond. A-firm on the bowling shoes, by the way.
I'm
For Becker?
relatively firm. Did you get a peek yet of what I was talking about?
They look like just some standard kind of athleisurely.
Like Skechers?
I don't know, but it didn't look.
Yeah.
It didn't have McCracken
I
written all over it.
I had a bowling vibe, but maybe not. Are we going to get a shot here? No. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Becker in trouble.
We're going to get a shot of Becker perhaps out the door. Let's just see how he reacts to this 115 first and foremost.
These eights are just so vulnerable too. You almost want to play for all of it. You are the shortest stack. You're content if you just pick it up here, but obviously if he moves it in, he's getting called.
Well, he does dial up a 3-bet off of that stack of 1 million, which is about 20 bigs.
And what does Deng want to do now? Do we just call because our hand is so good, or do you feel that Becker is strong enough to want to just get it in? Becker also, keep in mind, Ali, has plenty of just 3-bet folds out of the small blind, so you'd hate to lose a customer.
I think that's the key thought. Swirling about Clemen Deng's mind.
He's weighing all these options.
10 seconds.
$4.95.
Yeah, how about the 4-bet? Just clicks it back.
Wow, now it's weird.
Yeah, Becker's kind of sick.
You know, why would Clemen just come with a clicky 4-bet? He's never ushering me out the door at this size, and instead it feels as though he's begging me to do his bidding.
Yeah, would he do this with a hand like, you know, ace-5 suited? I don't know. I don't know how often we're 4-bet folding, given the stack depths. And Becker's wondering the same thing. Is this just always value? And if it is, how dead am I? Yeah, here we go.
And these bugs just hit the windshield. Resurrection is, of course, far from impossible, as Becker has 19% equity, but more importantly, he's got himself a real problem right now.
Oh! My.
Well, that'll solve your problem. In the window, the 8 of spades. Dang,
Hold on.
not nearly as amused. Okay,
Oh boy.
tension broken here. No needle on the turn, as Becker does fill up, but still needs to fade one on the end,
Wait a
which
second.
would, of course, represent a lethal injection. And hold he does. The no side spade, a safe one. 2.1 million, and this gravy train keeps rolling for Jeremy Becker.
Oh, yeah. Well, he can win all the dailies around Las Vegas. And now he's showing that he can take down a major. This guy plays everything, Ali. It doesn't matter the buy-in. You know, the 140 nightly over at the Orleans, or, you know, here a 10K in event number 6 at the U.S. Poker Open.
So there's a look at Jeremy Becker's ascent to 42 bigs. Still in third. Clemen Deng, of course, unraveling down to 13 bigs, flirting with the 10 big blind threshold. Wilson and Schulman clustered much more closely than they were at the onset, as it didn't take but an orbit of play here at this event 6 final table to lose a runner and shuffle the running order
Who was it?
as well.
Overall gave him a sick compliment. He's like, you got to give him any rope you can.
Yeah, the rope you'll be giving him is a fucking nice price with Jack 10 suited.
I was thinking more like ace-3 type stuff, you know? Thought I was locked in for a second.
Fair enough.
I liked it, Becker.
And then
Let
I
this
was
guy
like-
get you off your game.
And then, Nick, I was like, you know what? I think the 8 might fucking come.
And that as well is a key part of that situation, for sure.
All in.
The eights.
Jam declared here from Wilson as he targets Deng. Helpless. Here's Clemen with 7-4 offsuit.
Yeah. Clemen's too sick. I got to happily get it in with 8s.
I was really hoping that you folded to the 495. That'd be a,
I couldn't with the snowman, brother.
Why were you hoping that?
so I thought it'd be funny.
I was hoping he folded once he made it 495.
I mean, he's never folding. I guess you were just hoping for a flip.
Little cheeky postmortem.
Uh-huh.
Ace on the puck now for Wilson. Dials up $1.15. Just putting a slight bit of frosting on the min raise, and now Schulman with a little cupcake in the big. Ace deuce suited. Doesn't take long to decide to call.
Yeah, the two biggest stacks colliding. Schulman saying, I'm not going to 3-bet this one. I'll just take a flop. And what a beauty it is, flopping the flush draw.
Not the first time he's had a nut flush draw on the flop. Worked out handsomely first time around. Let's see how it'll perform against Wilson this time out. Check back, and now the second jack leaves them chopping as it stands.
What a free roll spot for
Yeah.
Schulman.
Wilson draws up 75 into this 305. I think this is just, if you've got dust, exit stage left if you would, and if you don't, then maybe I earn myself a river check out of you by virtue of finding this bet and making it cheaper on myself to get to showdown. Now Jack's full on board for both players.
Now I think, too, for Wilson, when you get called on the turn, it can be a lot of ace-X, maybe the stubborn king-high that Schulman stuck around with, but unlikely to be a check, you know, considering there's 3 on board. And even, Ali, if it was a 7, well, that you just counterfeited. Wilson can apply pressure here if he wants to fold out chops. And look at this. He is reaching, and he is overbetting. This is high-level play from Brock Wilson. 750K, a huge overbet. This is so well done. You just put everything that Schulman has outside of a jack in absolute prison. And all that being said, Ali, Schulman is aware. If he knows what Wilson could be up to, he could, in theory, fight back. It seems punchy, but there's a lovely call. Nice job, gentlemen.
Strangely respectful.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a poor value proposition, and that's intentionally created by Brock. But,
Were you expecting
you know.
a repop?
Yeah, I did it was crossed my mind that he has 8s through 10s pre,
It hits you with
but
the
that wouldn't raise.
raise.
No.
Quads.
That
I
would've been
considered
sick.
it. It did cross my mind. I wouldn't min raise though. I'd
Guess
go
you
a little
would fold.
bigger.
With that.
What's up?
I guess you would fold.
I don't know.
you know, I pointed this out before from
I'd
within the
fold to
booth.
many people like Becker, but, you know, I don't know.
But the willingness that these guys here, with all the money that's on the line, all the pay ladders and whatnot, have to discuss spots immediately in the aftermath,
Right.
just points to the notion that I know you're top tier, and I'm not giving anything away when we have this conversation. So I'm comfortable to have it.
That hand was fascinating. It was great to watch. And you heard Schulman even say he was considering raise.
Oh.
I believe it.
When isn't he? $105, the declaration from
400.
Wilson. Clemen Deng, Third scoop application from the button with ace-10 off. Schulman with an ace-jack off. Now, he knows Wilson's range could be broad, and he knows Deng knows that as well. So the ace-jack has some extenuating circumstances influencing it in both directions. Generally, and not the one that we really want to stick our neck on the chopping block with.
It's not. I think he's
in
in
this
between. You know, can we just cold call the 4? Or do we also just want to get it heads up? And I think he's announced raise. So we're just going to click it back. And let's see if Wilson has anything. He's out. Again, unbelievable, fantastic decision by Schulman.
Sure. Downside capped, of course, in terms of Deng only having 545 in total. So, nervy moments for Clemen. Dominated, and that's exactly how he stays. But deuce 3 of diamonds staring him down. 1.3 million chip pot. Trying to avoid elimination is Deng. Nothing sweaty about a 9 of hearts on the turn, and a 10 is required for Clemen Deng to keep his seat. Can he find the 3 outer? No, he can't. Ace-jack high plays, GG's exchanged, and one payout of $76,000 issued to Clemen Deng. Add that to the $6 million aforementioned in career tournament earnings for him.
And you got to be a little salty, you know, for Deng. He got in aces for all the chips and just couldn't win. And also couldn't find a way with ace-10 versus ace-jack out the door.
Sometimes Dems to breaks, as Justin Vaysman knows well. That was him on his way in, already out. Deng, not sure he's going to have any company on his way out. Looks like Schulman might have been running a little bit behind.
Oh, yeah.
I know something about that today. More on that later. Brock Wilson. Boy, we could just run the loop. Okay, timeout.
Yeah, here's the bowling shoes. I'm telling you, look at these.
No, this is a football move, though. I thought he was going to back it up and then maybe swing. Oh, Bill Klein.
Wow.
Good to see him.
Love this. The return of Bill Klein inside the. Look at the signs back there, Bill Klein. The Return to Glory Tour. Take a bow, sir. Absolutely love Bill Klein.
I mean, his energy, certainly the type that you want in the building. See Candace giving him a big hug there. Do we know, was it a health-related issue?
Yeah. He's been dealing with some health issues, and, you know, Bill is so special to the poker community, and you know, players reaching out, making sure he's okay over the last, it's been over a year now, maybe a couple of years. And it is so great to have Bill Klein back. And, you know, more to come later on in the broadcast with Bill Klein.
Also great, of course, enjoying the chip lead for the first time at this FT, Nick Schulman, north of 4 million and ahead of Brock Wilson, who defends with 5-6 offsuit against the unknown holding of Schulman. Middle pair for Wilson.
130.
He has already checked, as you heard Schulman declare 130. This into 390, exactly 1/3 pot. Peeling is Wilson, understandably. The king, not exactly a welcome sight for fives. Once more they knuckle. And this is where Schulman can certainly do some leaning, if he so chooses.
His type of texture on the turn, and he will lean. He's just going to continue to bet.
And he's aided, of course, by the fact that on tap now, with 3 remaining who have guaranteed themselves 104,000, is a pay ladder of 40K, one that Wilson would not want to tragically fail to indulge himself in, 1.7 north of Becker.
Just such a brutal spot to be in. You feel like you're getting bluffed all the time, and you just can't do anything about it. You're handcuffed. You know the third barrel's coming. Are you really prepared? And Wilson's going to fold.
And that gives us a chance to direct you to Global Poker. Why? Because it's where the U.S. Poker Open Online Edition is running now through April 26th. Daily tournaments, daily tournaments, big guarantees, and a chance to win a Vegas prize package. Don't miss it. Play the U.S. Poker Open online at globalpoker.com.
Well, we got young Becks in his 20s,
Okay.
Brock Wilson in his 30s, and Schulman in his 40s.
You know, they're on the early side of 30s and 40s, by the way.
They are, and the
You know,
later
31,
side of the
41.
20s for Becker, 29.
Becker, of course, was the big splash heard around the strip when he showed up at the Wynn and proceeded to just dominate their daily tournament series. How many times did he win in the span of just a few months? People began to question whether or not it was on the square because the results were just such an anomaly. Much like that Eagle sound that we really are getting max mileage on whatever we spent on that, by the way.
I love it. Max mileage on pocket eights as well as Wilson now with the Snowmen.
Up ticks his odometer, 140. Disjointed Jack 4 here.
You saw that glance from Becker. He's taking a look at stack sizes. It's a world in which, you know, Jack Little, the Robbie, goes a little cuckoo in that spot, but not this time.
Speaking of Robbie, Jade Lou, of course, ran into her at the World Series of Poker Europe
Yeah.
out in Prague. Certainly hasn't stepped away from the game since being embroiled in the controversy with Garrett Adelstein. No embroiling for Brock Wilson. He's just been boiling red hot here at this USPO. Was the PokerGO Cup champion already, 5-time PGT title winner. And you know, it isn't one of these situations where those who can't do coach. The man coaches, and then he shows up and earns the right to do so
Most
time
common
and
hand
again.
you get when
Ace,
you get a
king,
walk.
walk. He was looking to earn more than that.
You know, I've heard that. That is a fact.
I don't know, but it makes sense.
You complete A6 off there?
Ace 6 off?
Yeah.
You did well with the last time. Why not? Hit a river.
Different spot.
Yeah, fair enough. A lot more pressure on your stack here.
Going to see a lot of this out of Wilson every time it folds. And it's small blind, big blind against the chip leader. He's just limping an unbelievable high percentage of hands. And Schulman will be responding.
Finger wag up to 240 here as Wilson punished for the audacious limp.
Yep.
Don't you see my stack?
Just
boy?
rinse, wash, repeat. And you sort of have to start limping even with the king 3 off, and then you mix in
The limp 3
the goods.
bets. Yeah.
Right. Schulman will be responding with those
I
punishing
didn't throw it.
Yeah,
raises.
the 10 deuce offsuit on that occasion.
Didn't.
Didn't really matter. Could have dealt the man a couple of Kleenex, and he was ready to ask questions.
No, I mean, I'm not saying all that.
Another one that may be punished. Wilson, understandable open with 10-7 of hearts on the button. Schulman could go either way. Yeah, he's going to just bin it this time. Could have 3-bet Ali easily.
But it's the fact that he knows that Wilson is aware and kind of surmises that Wilson should be shackling in that opening range a little bit. Clearly the 10-7 of hearts still falling into the qualification category, as does this 6-3 offsuit for Becker. Oh, trip sixes. No waiting. Tough to get excited about the board texture for Wilson. This, of course, an unfortunate reality for Becker to be confronted with.
I think the most notable takeaway, and we've touched on this throughout the course of these broadcasts, in these three-handed scenarios, the short stack is trying to get more involved, right? Becker being the lesser of the three stacks. So 6-3 off. He's calling the raise and trying to play poker.
You cannot sit back and allow yourself to bleed out. You must figure out a way to jockey into second and then put the pressure on someone else. Of course, Schulman and Wilson are not going to be apt to allow such things. After checking back flop, Becker extended another street of rope to Wilson, and this time he does reach for the noose, drawing dead.
I like this. He's going to raise. Obviously, snap fold looks like the result. However, I don't think Wilson really ever has a flush, Ali. Is he knuckling back a variety of flush draws as played on that board? And then if it is, in fact, a jack that Wilson is connected with, those hands aren't folding. Probably going to call a check raise, at least develop and see what happens on the river.
I mean, make it cost something. That was the idea. But the extra 165, never ever on Brock Wilson's mind. So Becker continues the ascent. Suited one in the small. Granted, it's ugly.
Yeah, but we're in. Wilson's hand is pretty bad, and he may not give Becker the opportunity to see a flop, but we'll see.
This is sort of the leanest iteration of the big little offsuit combos. King deuce, queen three, jack four.
Yeah, it will knuckle.
Sometimes they will make things uncomfortable, not this time. So to the flop we go, ace nine, four. It's a flush draw against bottom pair.
That is 80.
80K out of Becker, choosing to lead.
Calls 80.
To the turn we go, and it binks. Wilson jacks up. Becker contemplating whether or not he's allowed to fire again at this. He did limp pre. Perhaps less credible is the notion of an ace.
That is 225.
But targeting 4x and 9x, he brings forward 225, knowing, of course, that he's not dead against those one pair hands, let alone the two pair ones.
This gets painful whenever you get raised. Leading with the flush draw. And this is a delight now. You understand, okay, Wilson has maybe ace X. Could have also been a 9 along the way, which a horrible card, of course, for both players.
Yeah, with an extra 450 having worked its way into the pot on the turn. Counterfeiting Wilson's jacks up and leaving Becker well aware that 7 high ain't going to be a winner at showdown.
I don't even know if Becker's going to continue. Betting flop, betting turn. When you're called on turn, there's certainly a reasonable portion of 9x in Wilson's hand.
And we block the hearts.
We block the hearts. Yeah, this is, I think, a really good give up by Becker.
Wilson relieved, of course, to see that check, and it's a fairly unfamiliar sight of late. Becker's chips being deployed elsewhere, but that's precisely how it came down.
Is that sincere? Or?
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, after seeing his hand.
10 seconds.
There's a look at event 7 in progress. Elsewhere in the room, it's by Adam Hendricks.
Yeah, I love
there,
this outer action.
right beside Bill Klein, who we talked so much about. His first event since January of 2024.
Little shake.
Oh.
Yeah, baby. Turn it around.
Okay, Mr. Klein.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I hope you all catch an incurable disease and die a slow, painful death.
Trying to hide from the cameras. These other people are thinking, what in the world is going on? I love the music. Mission Impossible.
Is Brent Hanks working today, do you know? Good. He always says such nice things about me. I bought him a present so he can understand how I play the game.
Just some of the many memorable moments that Bill Klein was just brimming with so much personality and so much positivity when it comes to life, especially when you consider that the deck hasn't always dealt him a fair hand in terms of that health that we were talking about, and yet
What was
he
the
seems
good
to
one?
find the positive spin on it. So great to see Bill back.
I still have that book, Bill. I read a page
I
every
would add
single
decision
night.
shoves.
Do you, though, or are you just skimming? I feel like you might be
Well,
skimming.
you know, maybe a word every night. It's hard for me to read.
Speaking of skimming,
Yeah.
as the CEO,
Right?
Brent, you know, you could always...
Are you getting back to? You
I'm
trying
try-
to
you know.
throw me in prison?
No. I'm not trying to throw you in prison. The, Nevada Penal Code, perhaps. but,
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying.
Well, no.
Things to think about, you know. You could get on American greed. Ace Jack suited, greed on Schulman's mind, no doubt. As a result,
I'll come up with a plan.
yeah. Is it going to be a good one?
Well, only one way to find out.
8-6 offsuit. Becker wants to find out what those 3 cards are. Just one removed from the top of the deck. Burn down and feast your eyes. Bottom pair versus top pair, but Becker with that very important spade. Schulman comes with check to start this one off. Monotone textures do make things a little cagier.
I wouldn't be surprised if both check. Yeah, there it is for Becker. You know, you've got a pair. You've got that tiny little spade. You hate to get check raised. Let's see what develops. Hard to win a big pot if you're Schulman. You just know that these types of hands, the pair, the small spades, aren't going anywhere, and the equities are fairly aligned on the flop. You still see low variance approach. Just, okay, maybe I can get one street. Both these guys content to just try and get to showdown. Let that hand unravel a little bit. And here, Schulman, maybe now we consider pursuing a little journey to Value Town. There it is.
10 seconds.
This is nice. Becker's, considering. Can beat some bluffs, all of which would include a jack, probably, right? Or many hands, but nice fold.
Boy, those are tough chips to win for Schulman. He's just never reckless about his procedure. You know, he's so comfortable, not afraid to take the risk. You know, there's a couple of different ways that perception can be fostered. For some, it's I'm never, you know, wandering out onto the thinner ice. For others, it's not a fear of that, but it's I'm going to make sure that I'm doing it on my terms and in a spot where I rate to perform well. And I think for Schulman, that's kind of the more
he really
appropriate
just
descriptor.
has this way of controlling everybody.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah. That's really a nice way to describe it. And yeah, his presence is really kind of enveloping
It's
when you're out there. Nowhere to hide playing three-handed against a
Right.
Hall of Famer like him. Here he is with middle pair and the open-ender after Brock invested the extra 90 with his ace-8, turning into a double gutter on this board texture, facing a 100K c-bet.
I don't think there's anywhere for Brock to go but just call, right? We're never raising. What do we have if we raise?
Board pairing 10, which puts a third heart out there. Nobody's excited about this board development. Sure enough, it does go check, check as a result. Now a 7 on the end doesn't change anything. Wilson going deep into the shot clock before finding his check. Schulman content to check back, and he will collect. And now up and over 5 million goes Nick. Schulman show.
Are you surprised?
Never. Why would I be? That's $25.7 million in career tournament earnings. Who knows how much more in the cash streets.
He's got half the chips in play now. Can he close? Can he finish?
We know he can. It's a 7-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner right there. And I don't think he's done.
No.
Brent. I hate that he's not done, because selfishly, I want to be in the booth with him as much as he will allow me. But he is in peak form, and no matter how much you loosen the purse strings here at Go, Brent, we cannot tempt him economically.
There's just not a price. You know, the man is, he loves the game. He loves to play. That will continue. By the way, you know, I know that you don't have Nick in the booth with you, but, you know, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do? You want me to?
You know, I don't mean to discourage you, Brent, but the short answer to that question is no. There is actually nothing you can do.
Can I fluff your pillow?
Well, thank goodness you said your pillow. No, there's no pillow. There's no topping.
You want me to have snacks
You know?
out for you every day you walk in? I mean,
you
what?
can listen. You
There's a
can do
lot
all
that
of those things,
A
Brent.
lot I can do for you.
And you know, yet each time you look at me with those puppy dog eyes, desperate for validation, that perhaps you've drawn level with Nick Schulman in terms of the analyst seat here in the booth, allow me to just prevent any of the disappointment associated with some misguided sense that that day will come
You want me to wear something different?
and return. No matter what you wear, Brent. Right? I'm trying, you know,
I don't have to
It's-
wear anything at all.
you're drawing dead, Brent, is what I'm trying to tell
No,
you.
there's always a chance. I mean,
If you need to tell yourself that, you know, much like Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber, the
Yeah.
original,
yes.
go ahead.
Now you get it.
but
Aspen.
you know, the pretty bird is dead, and it's not coming back.
Just go, man.
All right, jump into free online poker with PokerGO, where you can grind ring games and run deep in tournaments. No deposits, no bots, no gimmicks, and I don't believe any Brent Hanks either. Just pure, authentic poker. PokerGO also has special free rolls that run every hour on the half. Play now at playpokergo.com. Available on web, iOS, and Android.
Yeah,
what are you going to
there's
name her today?
No Brent, of course, in the game. You're right, but Lucky Lucy, she's right there.
Lucky Lucy.
Play with her.
Yes. I don't believe that's on offer, by the way, Leisure Suit Larry. I think you got to kind of... It's just poker. You know.
Yeah, it's
Without
a
an
great
H.
game. Only one way to find out, by the way. Download, play, pokergo.com.
Right.
And
Yes. It's not that kind of site or app, just in case you were wondering. Meanwhile, both blinds wondering what's in their future. King 10 flatting, 10-8 dominated, coming aboard. 2 aces, 2 hearts, and a 5. Don't hitch up to any of these holdings.
That's 110.
110K, says Wilson, and always nice when you can c-bet into 2 opponents and take it down without any fanfare. Now back to just about $1 million, separating he and Nick. 13 million plus in career tournament earnings. Still no bracelets despite 45 cashes at the series. For Brock Wilson, 6 WSOP final tables.
really, I didn't. Okay, so Brock Wilson,
He's got 4 circuit rings.
he's one of the guys now that you have to start to wonder better players in the world
Yeah.
without a
Yeah.
piece of the hardware.
That's fair.
Jeremy Becker also on that list. He's won everything else in Las Vegas except a gold bracelet and a beautiful starting hand for Wilson. Just calling out of the big blind with ace queen of diamonds. This is so under-repped here, Ali.
2 hearts, 2 sixes, and a 9 as Wilson slips it. Schulman, spadeless texture, not interested in a c-bet. 7 rolls off. Brock might be deducing that there's a good bit of honesty woven into the check back on the flop out of Schulman, but he also knows that Nick's range is still going to be wide with Becker lurking at 1-1 and Wilson not supposed to be keen to play big pots. Schulman keeping things tidy, checking back again and finding himself a 4
Just slips it in there.
for the W.
Even, you know, these hands, small pot, but when you just find a way, little 4-ball comes home. Things clearly going in Schulman's direction.
10 seconds.
Kind of a blocker-ish value bet from Brock, suggesting that he's trying to get called by a worse ace high. Schulman just, I think we pay.
So 90 gets him to showdown. I'm not going to say cheaper than he would have otherwise faced because it's unclear whether or not Schulman was going to have an appetite for a barrel there, but it is an L, which puts Schulman back up and over 5 million.
Say up?
Yeah, I did say up.
Up
Brent.
over 5 million?
Is,
Well, you know how you too, Ali, can also get up.
uh-huh.
How about you try a little Blue Chew Gold, buddy? That's something I can offer you here in the booth. Perhaps if I give you a lifetime supply, you'll let me work with you some more.
Here's the thing. You continue to offer it to me, But then you put this strange caveat of here in the booth. And I can assure you that no amount of synthetic assistance is going to render my member at attention whilst you and I are here in the booth.
I just thought we could experience it together.
I stop thinking that.
We're the new tandem in town.
We're just not. See, that stuff I do alone. You know what I mean? And naturally.
How else
No
are we going to
judgment, but-
build a solid rapport for many years to come
Yeah.
doing all these shows
Yeah,
together?
what did you watch? Avatar, the little ponytail hookup. You want to? Now you got some weird delusions of.
Wait, is that where the guys are?
We're not docking.
The
We're
big
not
blue
doing nothing.
alien-looking guys in the ocean?
Those are the ones.
They're using Blue Chew for sure.
Well,
You
yeah,
see the
maybe a
size
little
of those
too much
guys?
of it.
Yeah, wow.
Meanwhile, a little more of this board for Becker, who's got top pair and a wheel gutter, backdoor diamonds, following through on his 120 pre. He brings forth 135 post. Now Schulman with that 6 knows that a card like a 4 could be very useful if he is indeed up against an ace.
I love watching these types of spots. Schulman is reaching. He's going to check raise the 9-6, this type of board, and Becker really can't go anywhere. You're just in, and you're buckling up. You're taking the ride for the time being.
$315, the check raise as Nick is
All in.
testing out
Wow, just
the
rips
veracity
this.
of Becker, and he's like, let's go. And that is a really nice outcome for J-Bex.
Just rips it in there.
But, you know, you pointed this out earlier. He understands that the pressure's on him to make something happen, and if this is the spot, so be it.
It is. I just don't know what is calling that we're beating, right? I mean,
But it
Schulman's
isn't
got a lot
strictly
of
that.
bluffs. We're also denying equity.
Yeah, clear that equity up.
Yeah. And listen, J-Bex made the move. He's a phenomenal player. I assure you, if he did it, it must be correct, Ollie. He's a child of the sim. You know, I'm sure he's out there running the sims and solving every day. Actually, don't think he's ever done that.
No,
I think he's on record of never using.
Ever, never?
I don't think he's a solver guy.
Just because he wasn't last time you checked in with him doesn't mean that he hasn't recognized.
He
the
doesn't
utility
even
of
own
it.
a laptop.
Okay, maybe he owns a desktop.
You know that, right?
And
He
you
doesn't
know that
even
your
have
phone,
yeah.
you can kind of do a lot with that now. You know.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah.
Schulman
Touche.
doing a little with the 6-7 of hearts. Raising, that is, 3x. King 4 for Becker.
$400.
Raise to 400.
Look at the 3 scoop here.
It's just
Jeremy.
really nice. The King Little out of Becker. Annoying for Schulman, such a pretty hand. But you also wonder, can we see a flop with this type of hand? And he says yes. Let's see 3.
So deeming that 6-7 durable enough to take a little bit of this heat is Schulman. And now he's found middle pair, but on an ace-high board. And let's see if Becker wants to storytell. He's breathed this one up to 860. 1.6 remaining.
10 seconds.
That's 190.
190 is small enough for Schulman, of course, to remain intact.
And there it is. He's going to call. Now for Becker, it's can we find a turn bet.
Deuce is dry. Does, of course, give Becker the gutter.
Yeah.
Is it enough?
You just have to be able to maneuver on these types of turns. Can Schulman have ace-x? Absolutely. But remember, he's coming along for the ride with these types of holdings as well, the suited connectors. You can absolutely have a 6, a 5, even a hand like 7-8 suited, 8-9 suited. Continue. If you have an ace, I don't think you're betting flop and checking too many turns. I love this out of Becker. Going to continue to fire.
300 dimes into this 1.2. This is quarter pot territory.
And it's a lot of pressure for Schulman. It really is. Are you trying to just peel and then hope that Becker shuts it down and we win on the river with our pair of 6s? We can, of course, improve. But Schulman is sort of, in a spot. And this is credit to Becker. He's playing his hand great.
Right now, the deliberation surrounds how much riffraff am I up against? How much of that King X down through 8X, let's call it, given the presence of a 7 in Schulman's hand, am I facing?
Wow.
And enough of it to make the call decides Schulman. A very critical looking exchange now. Becker has just 695 remaining in his stack, and all he's got here is king high. He knows it is not going to be good very often, if at all, in the face of Schulman having called these 2 streets on this board. And when that's the case, sometimes a desperate bid versus the waving of the white flag can be what is in our future.
I think he just has to move it in.
And he does move it all in.
Unbelievable. J-Bex with just king 4 off. Schulman wants a count because he knows that Becker is capable of this.
I mean, he's not doing it with the jack, so it really, I think, has come down to, does this man have ace-x plus? Would he 3-bet deuces? Would he 3-bet 5s?
No, it's he's saying I've got, ace king, ace queen. That's what Becker's
bottom end of range in terms of value.
Guess you can't tell me.
Could have some ace 5.
Did Schulman just say you got king 4 over there?
Stop. Did he really say that, Brett?
I don't know. I thought I heard him say something like that. Boy, Schulman feels like Becker's running one, and he is.
Dude, are you?
He called.
Is this like solver approved or something?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then I didn't even know.
Unbelievable call by Nick Schulman.
Maybe I'm more locked, though. How much do I? 2?
You know, I confess, in that brief absence, Brent, I was desperately trying to pick out what it was that Nick subtly said as we were speaking over it, but it did feel a whole lot.
If you never fold, it looks like amazing when you're right.
Like he asked, do you have king 4 over there?
I thought he said it, and you were finishing your thought, but I thought I heard Schulman say that.
Well, finishing Jeremy Becker's bid to make a run at glory here today is Nick Schulman as he vaults up to 6.3 million and leaves us breathless while Becker's out the door with 100K. Stay close. More in a minute.
Want to play online poker for free? With PlayPokerGo, you get the thrill of authentic poker anytime, anywhere. From quick casual games to action-packed tournaments, PlayPokerGo lets you compete against real players around the globe, all for free. No bots, no gimmicks, just pure poker fun. Hone your skills and enjoy the poker experience you love. Explore PlayPokerGo on web, iOS, and Android. Deal yourself in now.
We return to the scene of what feels like a crime. Moments ago, Nick Schulman picking off a bluff against Jeremy Becker, who no doubt is talking to himself, and that eagle might be crowing, screeching, whatever you call it, circling the carcass of young J-Bex, dispatched in third, leaving Schulman with a heads-up record of 21 wins and 16 losses to square off against Brock Wilson. Brock's record 17 and top pair as the pre-flop aggressor. Let's go check, check. Now a third diamond and second five rolling off. You see Wilson showing off a little bit of balance. Not automatically firing with top pair.
10 seconds.
Does activate, however, on the turn, and that does end things. You know, forgive me, I know we're supposed to be looking out the windshield, but still in my rear view right now is what happened. Schulman said you got king 4 over there. I mean,
Did
the
you ever
call,
play a lot of heads up, no limit in your career at any point?
independent of that, is wild.
Yeah, I've played a ton of cash and still do, kind of.
Okay, cool.
But
Yeah.
for a while I was playing pretty big, like heads up, second goes.
Okay.
Had a little
Yeah.
arc there.
Yeah.
You can really ruin someone's soul for a
I
long
don't,
time.
Yeah, I don't
with
think we're
that.
ever going to see Jeremy Becker again.
I think we'll see him.
He's hanging it up.
But I think we're going to see a forever different version of him.
He's heading back to the Orleans.
Am I overselling it? Like, if I'm
No.
overselling it, tell me I'm overselling it. If you're watching out there and you think, Ali, come off it. But I'm telling you right now, if you play enough poker, if you're sat there and you're playing for the kind of ladder that they were at the time, $40,000, and a dude just dials you up with sixes, and before doing so, calls out your exact hand.
And it was,
That's-
remember,
I'm examining my
Becker
dermis for
could not
transparency.
have done anything different. He 3-bet pre, fired flop, fired turn, the rest of it on the river. I mean, it was targeting the exact type of hand he was hoping to target.
And by the way, it was sort of an advertisement for what Wilson can come to expect in terms of the sharpness of Nick's blade on the day. King 10 turns into a Broadway gutter here in what was a limp pot. Wilson found 80K in position, now finally finds a little equity. Granted, his king high was always best and continues to be against the queen high. However, he will check back. Would love to deliver Schulman a queen on the end, but instead it's a 9.
Got the queen.
Full shutdown. Cross turn and river. Wilson collects. You know, on the flip side of this, I feel compelled. Poker Views in the chat says, heck of an effort from Becker, and I think that's kind of lost in the shadow of
It's a great bluff.
what Nick did. It really, it took a lot of heart, chutzpah, if you will, as we get a look at the Octopi Poker stats on Brock Wilson. Average start 4, average finish 3.7. That means he is performing better than his numbers when he shows up. 26% of the time does so as a chip leader, and his all-in equity, he actually gets it in better than 50%. And on all the occasions I can remember us showing that stat, nobody's had over 50% yet.
Yeah, he's the first one. And by the way, this is his 39th PGT final table, so that sort of tells you where those stats are coming from. 26% of the time he's been the chip leader across these 39 final tables. 10-8-5, 2 diamonds. We got a little action. Wilson connecting with a pair of fives. Has that diamond working, and Schulman is open-ended.
Action checked over to him in a limped one pre. $200. This is forceful into the 240. Bottom pair with that important king of diamonds, though, and no dismount. 640 in there now. Second 8. Sort of an above average development for Wilson. Doesn't complicate the texture.
Yeah, it does. And I'm watching to see how Wilson responds out of the big blind after the board pairs 8. And in fact, he will lead. This is really nice. He's doing it with a 5. He would also do it if he had an 8. Plentiful draws, but look at the price being laid to Schulman. I think we're okay wanting to continue here.
So 100 ahead to the river. Queen of diamonds. Front door flush arrives. Some of the straight draws, unclear how much of those combos would be limped by Schulman, but we do know he's balanced. Queen, Jack, Jack 9. Queen 9 could be turning up here.
I think Wilson's going to have a tough spot. Yeah, he's going to knuckle, and now Schulman with just 7 high, I would assume he might just give up too, Ali. I mean, yeah
he's
just
so
gonna
good
wave
in these spots, right? You're tempted to look up at the screen and go, well, he knows 7 high is not a winner. But what he knows more so than that is how credible the effort to win the pot would be. And if he thinks Wilson's going to find the call, more often than not, he's not going to waste that river bluff.
Right. Well, we touched on it earlier. The first major of the year here at the PGT was the PokerGO Cup. Brock Wilson was the champion. His first major title. And now he can etch his name in history. Opportunity awaits. Will he go back-to-back and win the second major, the U.S. Poker Open? He will be the leader in the clubhouse after today. And by a quite a fair margin, might I add. With just a few events remaining, Ali.
Here's Schulman wagging his finger at the Wilson button limp. We do not, with an ace, intending to fold, but just look at 650. This is on the high side. Uncomfortable.
Yeah, these guys are deep, too. You know, you're trying to not get it in with ace-4 off, but when Schulman jacks it up to 650K, it does make things very awkward.
1.3.
Look at this. Instead of just calling, he says, let me show that I've got some limp re-raises, and you put this dust in the muck.
When in doubt, maybe we volley. And that's exactly what Wilson does there. And in doing so, he now claims the chip lead here, heads up.
Yeah, he is. Talked about Schulman, the dominant performance thus far, but Brock Wilson, you know, he's met his match. This kid has been on fire as of late.
Well, if you're looking to catch fire and sharpen your game, check out Octopi Poker, the all-in-one training platform built for serious players without a high price. From GTO tools to structured learning, they got everything you need to level up and They're giving 10% off annual plans with promo code USPO. Head to octopipoker.ai and start improving today. One thing we know about Nick is he gave us that different look with the 650. Is he's not suddenly going to be rattled and come undone. He just does what needs doing and does so consistently and accurately. Showing no signs of any wear. Raise and take with the 8-6. The task is tall for Brock Wilson, Brent. He has looked up to it thus far. But you're squaring off against a living legend in Schulman, a Hall of Famer, 7-time bracelet winner, 25 M's in career earned. Ace 9-8 middle pair, plus a very relevant 7 of hearts here for Nick. The dirty diaper for Wilson. He'll knuckle back.
And, you know,
Jack of heart turn, nice one for Schulman.
I don't think that Wilson is at all rattled. You know, playing against Schulman heads up, it looks to me like Wilson has finally sort of come into his own. This year, the confidence is sky high. He knows that he can play no limit hold'em in these high stakes tournaments with anybody, and he can hold his own and he can win.
Yeah, and I think that confidence has been very evident, not just in these results that he's now kind of with a bunch of momentum cobbling together, but also just in the manner in which he's been carrying and conducting himself. There's this command of craft, as I put it, that once you get there, you kind of just allow the game to deliver the results, knowing that you've done your part.
You've put in the time. You're outworking everybody as far as the study, and now the results are starting to come along. And when you combine those two, you really do become lethal and a force to be reckoned with.
Well, non-lethal is a 3 of hearts here, as Wilson has the inferior flush. He did fire
Check.
80 on the
7 of
turn.
hearts.
And that left Schulman checking his 7 of hearts. Check back from Wilson, and now the chip lead transferred back over to Nick's corner. Let's talk a little bit about stack depth here, Brent. We got 61 bigs for Wilson, 63 for Schulman, who comes into his PGT final tables with an average start of 4.3 and then a full place of improvement on average when he finishes, as he works his way to 3.3, but just chip leading 10% of the time. And all in equity, just about a pure coin flip for him. I'm a bit surprised at that 10% chip lead.
Yeah, you know, he's just kind of always there, and plenty of victories for Schulman on the PGT. This is, you know, we talked about Brock Wilson being his 39th final table. For Schulman, this is his 57th final table with 8 overall titles.
Pretty remarkable. Wilson, bottom pair on a 10 high board as they play a limped one once more. Gutter for Schulman here, who has the 9-3 offsuit into the limping camp.
The 9-3 offsuit now turns into a double gutter. Rarely do you see this. Any 5, any 8.
Is that enough for a barrel? Nick decides yes, and he brings 300 into the 240 again. Taking a walk on the richer side of sizing.
Well, he's certainly got a premium hand to apply pressure with. Can target these small pairs, and just a winner for Schulman. Wilson doesn't want to call and then have to face the fury on that on the river.
So nice, you know, these finds. It's a big pickup when you can get a pair into the bin. Certainly a man that commands an audience is Schulman. So many fans of his work, both on and off the felt. Fans of his winners photos when he takes down those bracelets too. Pretty iconic. Big fan of ace-10 suited on the button is Wilson. No disagreement for many of us. As the 250 is called by Schulman. Offsuit one gapper, which fails to hook up with the King 4 rainbow board. No heart out there, and no pair for Wilson either. Buck and a quarter follow through. Case closed. Well, it was Dr. Jack and Mr. Placey that left us thinking that we would have a protracted heads-up match. The last occasion on which one broke out here. It was the two of them heads up. For the
Yeah,
title.
it was. I was just thinking
And-
that night and day difference between event 5 and event 6.
Right, but perhaps the same suppositions in terms of the deliberate manner in which both of these guys are going to be approaching the affair, treating their stacks with the respect and kind of preciousness.
What did you say? A
Warranted.
supposition?
Yeah.
I'm only familiar with depositions.
Oh. Have you ever been deposed?
What is a? Well, I suppose I've been deposed, but what's a supposition?
Well, you were right there with the root words.
Yeah.
Suppose.
There we are.
Right, yeah. I'm going to let you work your way through this one, Brent.
I think I've already landed.
Have you? Nice.
Like the Golden Eagle that we're playing for here today.
But who will it roost upon when all is said and done? That's what we're trying to find out here. Another limp pot, no action on the flop. Ace of clubs gaining relevance. Wilson still no interest. Schulman content to check back. Third club arrives.
Another one for Schulman. Talk to us, chat. Who we rooting for? You got Brock the Brain, or you got jolly old St. Dripolis, Nick Schulman versus Brock Wilson. And we appreciate. What's that?
You know, you slid it in there as though it was just gonna fly right by me. Jolly old St. Dripolis.
Yeah, that's right.
This is established by you.
Yeah, it's big drip out there.
You know,
Jolly
I-
old St. Tripolis.
I don't
What did I even
think.
do here?
I like to, you know, at this point, I know Nick.
Mythical man.
Yeah,
I just,
okay.
I don't
All right.
think
Delivering the
that
goods.
the whole jolly old and the big drip and the saint this and that. I don't think that's really his speed, you know. And I think, I don't want to speak on his behalf, but I think maybe we just stick with, you know, Nick.
Jolly old.
Maybe not. You know, he's not a mall Santa. He's just. You want to talk about drip? Send that Lou Garza's way. Right.
Oh, where has sweet Lou been?
Right, but I'm saying that's That's St. Dripolis.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, Nick, let's just, let's carry a little bit of respect.
No, nothing but out of me, pal.
Right, but the jolly old St.
I've been calling
Tripolis
him that
is-
for years.
I know. Maybe, you know what? Perhaps we retire that.
What do you need, Ali? You need a little thumb job? Chat,
Squeeze?
like button, subscribe. You see that thumbs up, click it. Ali loves a thumb job.
I just don't,
Nick did tell me to not say that. You
Yeah.
know, we did high stakes poker. He said, let's just
Weird how,
let's remove the thumb job.
the two of us is kind of, I think at this point, well-established veterans of the craft, Brent, both separately advising you to steer clear, and yet, much like a bull in a china shop, you just continue to gore the porcelain.
Yep.
Well done. Kings for Schulman on the turn here. Job done.
Oh man.
You really, it's quite remarkable.
You got any weekend plans, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, decompressing from the trauma of dealing with. We're in here this weekend.
Yeah, not Sunday. Sunday's a
No,
an
Sunday's
off
your day to go and kind of, it was either a monster truck rally or WrestleMania, and
Yep.
you're going to the latter of them as a guest, by the way, of TKO Productions. Brent.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
have you weaseled your way into their graces?
Well, Jeff and I are going together. We're back.
Okay.
Jeff and I are back together.
Right. He is not excluded from going to WrestleMania
We're
with you.
allowed to apparently go out in public. you
Right.
know. Yeah.
Shocking that he would choose to do so, by the way, as a choice awaits Brock Wilson here.
Uh-huh.
Facing 240, the 3X sizing. Comes with the call. Both players linking up with bottom pair, both with a club in hand. Big advantage for Wilson. Both parties checking, allowing the 5 to arrive free of charge. No betting on the turn either. Deuce of clubs.
We'll see if anyone wants to get thin. Go for a little value.
You mean like how you are trying to do so by eating GLP-1 pills only to come to realize that they don't work?
I've gained weight, yes,
Yeah.
and I've had a, I had a
Like
fitness
that kind of thing?
guy reach out to me. Shout out. I don't want to screw up the name.
You've screwed up
Shout
the
out
dosage.
to Adam Bonilla from Team Elite Physique, and he told me here is that thin value bet. By
Yeah, 3 1/4.
Yeah.
Did Wilson flick in the call?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
And Schulman thinks he's got the winner for sure. It's a great value bet. You don't see that often enough, but when great players collide, they do try and eke out the thinnest. And, Schulman a little understandably frustrated there.
Sure.
But, yeah, it turns out, the guy sent me a lot of great insight, slid into the DMs on Instagram.
Weird way to describe it.
What do you mean? That's where he reached out.
No, but, I think generally speaking, the sliding into the DMs when it's just a guy trying to help you with your diet is not the way to characterize what Mr. Bonilla has done there. I think sliding into the DMs is perhaps,
Is that
a catfishy
it's
situation
more of
and
a-
OnlyFans.
Okay.
Well,
no, then he harmlessly and
he just sent you a direct message.
he just
on
sent
Instagram.
me a direct message.
There you go.
and
We're helping.
wisely told me that it's not going to work. What I'm taking, it doesn't work.
Right.
And he told me what does work, and
Right.
I just, it's not for me.
I'm in here telling you a lot of what doesn't work also, Brent. So perhaps if you're open to these
Oh.
things, hold on.
Oh.
Case 9 opens up the prospects for a little action as Wilson chose to limp the red 9s. Schulman checking back, finding bottom pair. Granted, the board is coordinated. Schulman lacks a spade. All of this working against Wilson's ability to get action, and now working further against that is this 7 of spades. 4-liner on board. Front door flush completes.
Kind of just an action-killing texture for
Yeah.
Wilson, and very fortunate for Schulman. Should not be a lot of damage and harm done here. And I'll get back to the peptides in just a moment, Ali.
You don't, now here's the deal. You don't have to, but anyway. Check calling 100,000 is Nick. Now look at this. If it was unpleasant on the turn, it's even uglier on the river. 4 spades, 2 straights possible, and relief for Wilson.
Yeah.
As he's shown a single 9 and counters with 3 of them.
I was waiting for your 650.
Yeah.
I was undecided if I was going to call versus it or not, but. Cole's asked me what strategy I'm going to do heads up, and said I was just going to copy you, so.
Yeah.
650 or check here. I don't know, maybe you have something else in there too. I haven't seen it yet, but.
By the way, the sheer number of people who have been added to those live streaming this coverage right now since the onset of Schulman playing for a title here, I think is very much centered around what some in the chat have concluded, which is a chance to watch these two work, is a chance to be educated for free.
Really is just a training site before our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Get a glimpse under the hood of how these guys want to navigate.
Dust in both corners on an ace-jack-9 board. Third heart, second jack on the turn. Nick peering back to see if that 4 is a heart or diamond. Fourth heart rolls off. Wonder whether or not Brock just deduces that Nick's look back and check back subsequent is a hand that lacks a heart in it. But he does wind up just giving up, and queen high is a winner.
Did you play the Venoms yet?
I didn't, because they coincide with day 3 of the Florida WPT and day 2 of the Florida 10K, and I'm just like, I don't know, I don't love mystery bounties.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
yeah.
kind of surprised that the last one was a mystery, right?
Yeah, they're doing another mission. They seem like a kind of silly format, and I'm not like the strongest at it. And also, when I play on Sundays, like I like to play a lot of tables, and
Yeah.
it's just not worth it if
Yeah,
it
yeah.
could overlap with some live stuff.
More limping here. A lot of small ball of late. Sort of a shift from what we observed earlier.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see, 6 high calling for their tournament life all in between these two for 40 bigs effective, Ali.
Nope. I think you're right.
So that's why I love poker. The cast of characters from just one event ago.
Yeah, the
Compared
contrast.
to this,
Yeah.
it's truly amazing.
But yesterday was very much an any given Sunday type of phenomenon for the non-pros to square off on the hunt for a title. Granted, Dr. Jack with quite a bit of experience. And that's precisely what Schulman's got as well. As you see the river connecting with Wilson to pay off. A 10 finding value to the tune of 80.
One in.
Believe the advisory of one hand remaining at this level has just been issued.
We got the Dank in here. What's up, Dankness? Out in the chat. He's out there shilling, Ali. You seen him on social media?
You've been playing
Shill
online
Jaffe.
Just cash.
He's got all the
but
deals now.
Okay.
I'm gonna get back into Sundays probably
I did
in a bit. I've just
stumble
been-
onto
Yeah.
Got a few I couldn't play.
You really
kind
do
of-
it all. You tournaments, cash, every game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hang on.
I mean, I'm not like playing, you know, a ton, but
Yeah.
online. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess I do. Yes, I do.
I was going to say I stumbled on to a Jaffe reaction post on X to Jeremy Osmus,
Yeah.
apparently, and he kind of took some issue with the way in which Jeremy had kind of characterized, I think, himself there.
Right?
You know, he's not afraid of that.
Do you play much cash at all, or
No,
Queen
really. I mean, I
sevens.
played a
do
little.
you used to, or
I didn't, like in college,
Wilson's
I
taking
would
it
play a
down to the
lot of
raise.
heads up
Yeah.
cash. I thought it was like, I didn't often have that much time to play. Like I'd have to play in between classes
sure.
and whatnot. So
makes sense?
yeah, and heads up cash was, I really loved the flow state of playing the same guy.
It is a new time. It is a new chapter. We are here live in the brand new PokerGO campus. No gamble, no future. Hanks, myself, and the face of FS1, Nick Wright, are going to bring to all of you the best poker show, combining poker, combining sports, and sports cards.
Let's get to work.
What the hell is combining all three industries to create the best poker show on planet Earth? Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to this heads-up battle between Nick Schulman and Brock Wilson, jockeying for the 224,000 and the Mini Eagle, which sits between them. Not to mention a good haul of points toward the overall series victory. Brock Wilson is atop that leaderboard and atop the chip counts here, clear of Schulman by 900,000 as we move the levels up yet another rung. $50 and 100. Level 21. Schulman's Queen 9 outflopped here by Wilson's 7-3 suited. Note, by the way, he just went to 3x on the button after we'd been seeing a lot of limping. Environment oh so fluid out there, balance so key. 200 into 5, declares Wilson.
Schulman's not done with this. Got plenty of potential, backdoor cards. He's in. How about this?
Jack on the turn, an open ender now for Schulman. Could very well keep him interested. Of course, he was eyeballing the diamonds more so.
Yeah, Wilson now in sort of murky territory. Shot it up to 300K pre. Betting flop on that texture, and now knuckling, despite having the pair, and Schulman finds the 9.
Running into the lead the harder way. Look at this find from Schulman too. Just leads for 100 after that turn check back and has targeted a 3 successfully.
9.
Ever so slightly now, Nick Schulman back with the chip lead. You know, you heard Blez in that commercial about the upcoming No Gamble, No Future.
Yep.
The greatest show on planet Earth.
You mean the one that I hosted for all of like a few hours?
No, yeah, you got your time in.
Yeah.
It was more of an audition.
Yeah,
And,
I didn't make the cut.
I am going to tell you this right now,
Okay,
Ali. Listen to this.
okay.
This heads-up match between Nick Schulman and Brock Wilson
Okay.
is the greatest heads-up match right now on planet Earth.
Yeah, I mean, Blez-like polarity to your assessment, but I think actually it could be an accurate take, which is a refreshing kind of thing from you. The accuracy. part of
Nothing
it.
but facts out of me,
Yeah,
Ali.
no, and nothing but top two here for Wilson, who is quite pleased to see Schulman take bait on the button in a limped one pre, his 8-4. Fruitless. And not keen to announce himself is Wilson. Little gutter on the turn for Schulman. $375K as Nick cannot resist the temptation to continue to lean upon Wilson, who check back pre, check called post.
And it was that check back pre that sort of gets us here. Brock, a wonderful job remaining under rep with that ace-X type holding. Obviously blessed to connect so heavy with the flop, and he just continues to remain under rep. Schulman bailed out. You know, you pick up the 4, maybe a little bit of showdown value. I don't know exactly what it is that we are trying to beat.
I suppose maybe backdoor hearts, some combo that contains the 8 of hearts, some 8-6s, I'm not sure.
Hard with the 8-6 when
But
you have one, but
we don't
yeah.
need to bet against those hands. It's like against
1.8.
He's
the
gonna bluff.
wow, and he comes with the overbet.
Wow.
1.8. I don't know. The story being told obviously is 10-8 at this size, I think. And yeah,
the 4.
Wilson just decides he must call, and Nick sheepishly declares the 4. And that is a breakaway pot for Brock Wilson. A near 3-1 chip leader. Ambush predation there.
All credit to Brock Wilson. It started pre-flop. The trap worked out to perfection. Talk to me, Ali. The synths are rolling.
Play the U.S. Poker Open online. It's running now through April 26th. Get in on the action with daily tourneys, big guarantees, and of course a chance to win a Vegas prize package. Don't miss it. Play the U.S. Poker Open online at globalpoker.com. You know, these spicy sweet chili Doritos are kind of a misplay whilst in the booth. Just
What do you have there now?
just this little,
Spicy, sweet. How many bags of chip? Do you want some of my fake Ozempic? You want to chew on
Your
a tablet?
Fozempic? No, bro, that doesn't work. I'm not there yet.
Maybe it'll work for you. You know, for me, I'm a real big guy. But maybe the little jockey-sized fellas, this little GLP tab will.
I don't think anyone's ever referred to me as jockey-sized.
Well, you
Brand.
know,
You know,
if I had to assign a sport to you, it would probably be jockey.
horse racing.
Yeah.
Jockey is not a sport, but horse racing, huh? That's the one.
Yeah.
First off, I'm very allergic to horses, so that's not.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The
And I
man-
love them,
Like the manure?
but no.
The
No, if I was
dander?
allergic to manure, how could I survive being in the booth here with you with the sheer volume of it that you pedal? King 8-4. Schulman's ace high, still best here as we return to small pot procedures for the time being. 5 on the turn, providing the wheel gutter along with the gutter to Wilson.
allergic to horses.
Yeah.
A lot of animals?
Maybe
or
that's why I
just-
don't have
just
backing
horses?
deals for people. No, it's cats also.
All right, so plenty of dander that.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Dogs too?
No.
Wow.
Thank God. 125 out of Wilson. So he took a swing. Board pairing 5 after Schulman made the call. And let's see. Nothing gets there as a result of this river. And we saw the big call out of Nick earlier.
Believe it's 750. Yeah, another overbet. We're seeing some real high level poker on display. Expected nonetheless. Can Schulman now find a remarkable hero call with just ace high? Boy, he's given this some thought. I thought he was going to release now. Genuine.
I mean, consider the quotient of his 2.3 back that this represents, but also the opportunity if he does make the find and he ends up in the bin. So tip of the hat to Brock Wilson, another key piece in a puzzle that is listing in his direction.
Well, he is really cooking, is Brock Wilson. My goodness.
That he is. Here he is by the numbers, 120 FTs, 17 live tournament wins, and 5 career 7-figure years for the 31-year-old whose best live cash is $650K, but he won't be scoffing at that 224 that awaits him if he can close out the Hall of Famer Nick Schulman. And one of the observations that I'm having now is we kind of get a few under our belt heads up. Advantage Wilson here dominating, limping the button. And there's no allegation that you know, Wilson didn't have certain moves within him or whatever. But have you ever been at the table, and maybe you're not involved in a pot, or maybe you're playing heads up, and you see a few things out of another player, out of an opponent, whether it's against you or somebody else, as you're keeping your eyes and ears open, and then you're like, you know what, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Right.
Maybe a lesser explored line or sizing, something that you had forgotten about or, you know, weren't focused on. I feel as though there's been a little bit of mirroring in that respect from Wilson as he's watched the way Nick has kind of dictated things out there. Granted, you know, it hasn't gone well for him. He's down to 2.3. But without being results-oriented, I think Wilson's observed some things that he really took on and then employed.
Yeah, I would say that that's right. He's obviously running great, hitting a jack here too. But you know, that bluff a moment ago was outstanding. What I believe to be the case for Brock Wilson is he does find a raise and over. He is, I believe, for a stretch of his career, up until maybe now, this year, he's unassumingly just great. People, you know, you sort of overlook him a little bit.
Well, you can't overlook where he's at in the overall PGT leaderboard. We know he's up front for this U.S. Poker Open overall series title and in front without today's result being tallied of that PGT leaderboard. Dr. Jack in second. You saw Yuri there in third. Chewy and Mike Burke rounding things out. Hard 8 for Wilson. As Schulman limps a durable one.
All in.
Oh boy. Wilson.
Schulman might call it off with King
Yeah,
Jack here.
just ripping. And there's the call. So this one could be in the books if fours can hold. Schulman at risk. 4.1 million chip pot. Desperate to hit a bit of a reset button in this heads-up match, which has not gone his way. 48% equity is chunky. And he finds top pair. No waiting. And now, simply needing to fade a sailboat is Schulman. Knows better than to get excited prematurely. The turn quells some of the fears. And the river vanquishes the rest.
I think it should be 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, cool.
He's back.
That he is. I'm sure Brock Wilson would have much sooner, forgive the obvious, have ended it right then and there.
Of course. He had Schulman on the ropes, a coin flip away from winning this title.
There will be no knockouts as we get deeper into the rounds. 3-2 chip lead for Wilson, roughly. Still 1.8 clear of Schulman in the aftermath, but less breathing room than he had a moment ago as he tried to close it out for the first time since the onset of this heads-up match. 80 entries originally, by the way, 12 places paid. I believe that's exactly where we were in Event 5.
I think you're right. Replica.
350.
On the topic of replica, one queen joined by another for Schulman, who from the big blind decides to pull back on the yoke. No further interest from 6 high. No surprise. Such steely operators in the face of all of that push and pull, the tug of war that is heads up, the emotional roller coaster. Unfazed are both. Schulman takes it to 250 with the king. An ace defends and looks up at queen 8 deuce. The heart becoming more relevant. Wilson slips it with the flow. And now some follow through here from Nick. And the more I watch this match, the more I feel like it's getting increasingly difficult to establish any pattern whatsoever to the way Schulman is navigating spots, and that makes him incredibly tough to beat. Appeal from the ace high. No improvements to either holding, courtesy of this 3 of clubs. Nick checking back, board pairing deuce. Cozy board development for Wilson. Likely doesn't assign a deuce or a 3 to the range and feels perhaps he'd be hearing from a queen once more on the turn more often than not, but nevertheless, Wilson just happy to provide rope, and Schulman feels like the king high is good enough to check back and show down, but it will cost him a few. A little more daylight between Wilson and Schulman.
Kind of wonder what's running through his mind, right? Does he feel like if he wins this event, those points up top, is he now the clear runaway favorite to win the Golden Eagle, to become the U.S. Poker Open champion? Because we had a similar scenario with the Cup. If you remember, Ali, he sort of called his shot, said if I win this very event, and I believe it was event 6, maybe 5, that it's over.
Well, the thing is, we've got, as we see the ace-king suited,
825.
happy to 3-bet this 250 open. Not sure Brock's going to be keen to continue with the 8-4 suited. These are 10Ks. We've got 15Ks and a 25K capper.
Right.
And there will be more points available. So somebody could slip in with a late kind of 15K title, deep run 25K, and gobble you up real quick.
And it was premature. Looking back at the cup, when Brock Wilson, made that statement, it got very close down to the wire, but of course Wilson did prevail. I haven't heard any comments about, feeling like this thing is over if he wins this event.
When has anyone ever felt like something was over in their favor when sat across from Nick Schulman?
No.
With cards in
of
hand?
course.
But
yeah.
Point taken for sure, as the spot is not taken by Wilson. He does bow out. Pot in turn taken by Nick.
We've got a lot of game left, if you will, a number of events, and I love that the championship event for the U.S. Poker Open that caps things off is a 25K, which we did not have during the Cup. That was a 15K. So throughout the course of the year on the PGT for the majors, these buy-ins will increase. The Masters will have a bit of a larger schedule, price point-wise. And, of course, the granddaddy of them all, Super High Roller Bowl, towards the end of the year. That'll be another 100K, I believe. And I believe also, Ali, a new major is being added towards the tail end. More details to come.
More hand for Wilson, which was always best, as he turns into sixes from his ace high. Deuces for Schulman. No betting. And now queens up on the turn. Wilson checks it a second time and suspect chips are headed forward.
$400.
Oh, another one of these little over bets. 1.33 the sizing.
And I love,
from Schulman.
Absolutely love how he does this with various draws and also the goods. He's so perfectly balanced in these spots.
You're right.
The last time we saw this sizing on this turn bet, it was with the 9-3 where he had the strange double gutter. Here he's got two pair.
And on the river, after Wilson called the 400, comes another overcard to the 6. Could be pesky in the event that Schulman was working the straights, whether it's by virtue of a pair of 7s or getting there.
Yeah, that's a bad card for really both players. Wilson probably unlikely to want to continue, which means for Schulman it's bad because it can just kill the action. The 9-10 slides in.
Yeah, that would have been a double gutter on the turn.
Yep, and some of those hands that you're overbetting with, again, will be the double gutter type. So that 7's really bad for both players. Schulman, you're just hoping that you can get called by a stubborn 6x, 8x type hand, maybe even if Brock had made a queen. But let's see. Maybe there's a world in which we do get called.
Boy, it does feel quite rich in the face of 875 to espouse this pair of 6s any further.
Very good hand to call, but
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, you heard him say, not a good hand to call.
I feel like you have a thinner value bet for some reason. You weren't sure.
Brock trying to unpack the spot. Nick giving nothing away.
Hmm. 10 seconds.
Struggle is real out there.
He just doesn't believe Schulman at all. He's trying to find the bluffs.
Yes, he's gonna have a 4, 10, 4, jack, 4, 9, 4, 3. Guess I'll just play it good.
That'll do.
Payday. And Schulman winning a 2.8 million chip pot against a lowly pair of sixes. Fourth pair on a queen high board.
Wilson sort of talked himself into making that call. I heard him say some of those hands out loud. Could it be the 10-4, the jack-4? Spotting the bluffs. But
Could it be
was
your
nothing but
time
the
to
goods.
shine?
Yeah,
Right.
right. Oh, Lucy, there she is. And you too can play free poker online at playpokergo.com. No bots, no gimmicks, ring games, tournaments, you name it. You know, there's free rolls over there, Ali. In fact, high-stakes poker, no gamble, no future. Both of those shows, those games, they're built into Play Poker Go. And that, of course, was once again Lucy, not a different actress on our screen. And Schulman, once again with the goods.
Jacks here. Pre-flop. 400. The declaration after Wilson limps the button, has conceded the chip lead in the aftermath of the heroism with ace-6. Wilson gonna dig in. They're playing for 900, and it comes ace-4-3. Pesky is the ace, but Schulman can rep the board. Two and a quarter, downsized follow through. And that'll do it.
Well, the fellas are doing their thing. Two of the brightest minds in the game, one of which a decorated Hall of Famer. You know, and his induction will go down with a little asterisk in history, too, is the grinder Mizrachi joined him in 2025, which has never been done in the Poker Hall of Fame. It's always one person per year. Is that right?
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
But exception made for the grinder, understandably, by all members of the hall who came together to induct him.
Just automatic, buddy, you have to go in.
PPC in the main, I mean, just bienvenidos.
Yeah.
Not so bien. The queen high here versus ace high. Limped one pre. No action out of Wilson thus far. Free swings all the way down for Schulman, but he cannot find a pair for the lead. $125, says Wilson, and note that that is a size that keeps this queen high a little curious, but short-lived is the curiosity as Nick does find the muck. $400 career cashes for Brock Wilson, by the way. And what a sweet one this would be if he could make it a victory against Nick Schulman. Is behind right now. finding the limb. Pretty one for Schulman, too. Could have been a candidate, but again, so balanced. Checks
my
back
God.
and finds a dynamite board. Straight draw, flush draw. 3 still in front, but look at the equity disparity.
Just the whole world.
You want that 7-6 more than you want the hard 6. Don't bring a blue chew right now, please.
It's sort of
I know,
but this is like my blue chew moment. You see a flop like that, and I'm just up and at 'em all in.
All right, then
Yeah.
what happens when you see the 9 on the turn?
That's it. Game over.
Yeah.
Light the cigarette, lay down, relax.
You know, it's actually accurate considering Wilson is now drawing dead.
Yep.
Schulman looking to coax some of those tokens into the middle. Non-compliance out of Wilson, and now another street of improvement.
Yeah.
As Nick makes the flush.
Got the flush and the straight.
It's the very rare double climax.
Rare suggests that you actually, that it's in play.
I would have been pretty
that
surprised
happens
when I bet
for
the
you.
river.
Oh, yeah. Unicorn. Yeah, it's there.
Oh, so the mythical creature which you hunt but have yet to bag.
Well,
no, that's not our. You know, our side of the gender breakdown like that. That doesn't happen for us really.
I don't think so, right?
No,
Yeah.
no. What is happening is another click upwards in the blind. 75, 125 is Schulman. Now enjoying the near 3-2 chip lead. Working man's hand on the puck. Oh, and a click forward with a suit is Wilson.
Well, that too has a nickname, Ali. We'll let this one slide for a moment.
Yeah, and you know what? I really applaud that restraint that you showed there. Not that my career has been built on restraint, Brent, but here
I've learned from the best, buddy.
But the
you know.
role inversion that
Yeah.
you subject me to when I'm the adult in the room, we have real concerns. Meanwhile, not much of a hand here. Schulman does find the position bet. Snacks.
Is there a T-shirt underneath that zip?
You know,
that's not a 3/4 zip. I think that's a full zip jacket.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't think there is a layer beneath.
That's strong, man. That is a full zip jacket with no T-shirt underneath.
Now, we don't know for
Schulman.
sure. We
Yeah.
don't. But you know what? That's in range.
You
That's
think
in
it's like a
range.
low V, maybe under there?
Yeah, something where you could see his belly button above the V. No, I don't think
This
it's-
guy, I mean, Schulman
V's
just
not that deep.
woke up, rolled out of bed, grabbed his favorite jacket. No, just put it on.
What
Let's
makes
go
you
to
think-
work.
What makes you think that's his favorite jacket?
Ah,
The
he
super
wears
high
it a
roller
lot.
bowl jacket?
Wears it a lot. Lucky coat.
Yeah. Superstition not beyond old Nicky, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Tens beyond the queen high. Wilson has it checked over. Decides to take a peek at the turn. Deuce is uncomplicated. Wow, second check back here from Wilson. Things getting quite cagey.
Schulman deciding, is there any world in which the queen 4 can just be good? And I think Wilson now, it's one of those value spots, relatively thin. But you must find it, and he does. Second pair, and you do put queen high to a little bit of a decision. As played, you don't suspect that ace high is betting river. Obviously, Wilson good enough to get thin value from various pairs, but we're beating a lot of the Jack X, 9X type holdings that are just unpaired. He really is thinking about calling. And maybe a world in which you decide there is the call. Well done by Brock Wilson.
Taking a page out of Schulman's book in terms of coaxing the thin call.
Yeah.
And the queen high on that occasion. And there's Brock's other half. Cherish Andrews, the 2 top players on the series leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, I was so hyped that she won. I think when I won a tournament, I think a week ago now, I predicted that she would be in the winner's circle real soon, and it happened a couple days later, so that was awesome. And she overtook me for a bit, and I said sorry, you know, I just am continuously getting lucky, a little bit luckier than her, and today we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm 1 of 5, but I've run so good that I'll take any spot. I really can't complain at all.
So proud of Cherish is Brock, and I'm sure so happy to have him in her corner is Andrews. Did you see the hat there? Butter?
Butter, yeah.
It'd be weird if you turned up and wore one that said margarine, I suppose.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it too.
Flavor. You know, there's a
you salted or unsalted? Just briefly.
I can't believe you just said that. I was about to ask you if you were aware. Of course you are, because you're a foodie. There's a salted version of butter and unsalted. And
of course I'm aware. How are you not aware?
Well, I didn't know this until I saw this. I was like, what do you mean unsalted? I want salts, taste in my butter. I like the Irish butter or
the Dubliner, whatever that is. That's expensive relative.
That's the butter, though.
Yeah. Nothing buttery about these holdings.
I'd wear that hat.
You really would.
Yeah.
Was it corduroy by chance?
Yeah.
Really a lesser explored material up top. As a lid, you know. I wouldn't go reaching for that one during the summer. Meanwhile, nobody reaches for chips on the flop, but Wilson connects with the 6 for a pair. He was the pre-flop aggressor, shooting the limp up to 450. Schulman hung tough with his king high. Let's see what ensues here on the turn in the face of the check back. Wilson still not keen to deliver chips.
Sorry, did you just hear? Did someone just die?
I don't
what was that
so.
noise in the background?
I don't think it was death, if that's what you were wondering. I know, as the CEO, you're probably a little bit concerned.
I am concerned.
Just take my word for it?
Yeah.
No one died.
Sounded like a reaction.
Sure, yes, it may have been a reaction, Brent.
Something happened.
But I don't believe anyone died. We're good.
You don't? You don't think I should go?
You know what?
Check it out.
I think just trust me on this one.
You've always had my back.
Board pairing queen now finally leaves Wilson comfortable enough to send 550 outward, and comfortable with the idea that king high is no good. Nick finds the bin, so back and forth we go. This wrestling match of a heads-up battle.
This will go as long as you and Darren Elias's heads up?
No.
How long was that?
8 hours.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 8-hour heads-up match.
Shocker. Well, if you want to shock them with your style this year at the World Series or wherever it is that you park your bones, pay a visit to the PokerGo shop. Official apparel from your favorite shows, including High Stakes Poker and No Gamble, No Future. For a limited time, get 15% off with code USPO26. Visit shop.pokergo.com and elevate your poker wardrobe.
I'm being told, by the way, that there are now U.S. Poker Open hats available in the PokerGo shop. So for all the fans that have tuned in, they
What's the longest one
like
you
the
ever
hats.
played? Do you ever have a crazy
There
one?
they are.
Me and Shannon last series went really long. We had to go into the next.
I remember that.
Yeah, we just made it at the end of 6K big. That was a pretty long one, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, but playing heads up, someone reminded me is when you play heads up NL, it's fun. You like put someone in a tough spot, and then on the other tables you start check raising them just because they're gonna probably like just be thinking about the other table. It's funny.
20-minute break in today's tournament.
Schulman limping. King 9. Certainly a candidate for a raise, but again, ever so balanced. Schulman. Wilson's check back brings an ace-jack deuce to our doorstep. And a spades in focus. Easy pick up there for Nick.
You know, Ali, we didn't touch on
During COVID, I had a
your
couple
arrival
heads
today.
ups.
On ACR?
Get
On
back to this.
ACR, where I was on the East Coast.
Yeah,
And I was playing heads up for like 2 hours at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Just because absurd fields.
Yeah.
Are you referring to the fact that I was nearly unable to make it to the top of the broadcast thanks to our commander-in-chief and his presence here in Las Vegas?
Yes, I am referring to that, Ali.
And you know, as I alluded to when I was on the phone with you in somewhat of a panic, I couldn't help but submit that there's something deeply unpatriotic about making it so that I might not make it to the U.S. Poker Open as our leader. You know, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I'm not into the whole ground stop at the airport, all of a sudden motorcade, you know, everybody stand still. No.
The show must go on.
Just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting to work.
You were very panicked. You know, we have a video of that. I wonder if our social media team, can we release that?
It's honestly the 8th wonder of the world that I was able to make it to the top of the broadcast because I sent you the screenshot from Google Maps.
38 minutes it said. How did you do that?
Well, not legally. I'll tell you that. You can thank the good people at Porsche. Their engineers really came through. Meanwhile, coming through with 375 is Wilson in position against Schulman here. This one was limped pre, a tickle in both camps, but a better one for Wilson with his 5s. 10 rolls off on the turn. Check back. Now the front door flush. Says hello.
Check.
And a shutdown. So Wilson gets 1 street worth of value as Cherish looks on. No doubt pleased with that outcome. Butter. Which, by the way, has kind of taken over some of the recent discussion in the chat.
A lot of salt conversations going on there, baking, cooking. I did see a ton of chocolate chip cookies, by the way, which I am being told that Cherish made once again for the field today.
Where
out
are
there.
these?
Right out there, the main tournament. After the show, why don't you go try one?
Yeah, and they're kosher, right? Like, I mean, not in the literal sense, but like, I don't need to worry about seeing, you know,
Are you rooting
talking
for 'em,
cacti
or-
on my drive home. Or
You
anything.
want to make sure that you have a cookie from the white box.
I see.
Avoid the green.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Red pill, blue
Yeah.
pill situation. Wilson with an ace high here. Checks it back. Looks up at 10-8 deuce. Has checked it. Schulman content to do the same with his raggy queen. Now, second pair and a good kicker on the turn for Brock.
Yeah, and, one of those tough to spot two-way straight draws for Schulman. The queen six acting as a double gutter. In this particular texture, he opts to just bet stone pot.
He does have the wrong end of the gutter working, of course, but Wilson's nines more than enough to proceed even in the face of this sizing. Hard to make a pair. And hard to release one, given pre-flop limp, post-flop check. So intact remains the ace-9. Now we have both one heart and one queen as Schulman, with which to perhaps motivate us after this King of Hearts river.
See if he wants to get after it. Yeah. About that many bananas. Is that 1.5 million? Wow.
Oh, this is such a bullshit spot. It just is. You already reasonable bluff catcher and it's a full of shit spot.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
You know, his language in terms of posture and whatnot, I think that time I thought he was just going to give it to him, but no, Wilson.
He just keeps calling, man.
And to be fair, Schulman keeps throwing that out there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not a criticism.
No. Tough guy to bluff is Brock Wilson. And Cherish out there, butter. She agrees.
A little popcorn for Brock as he dials up the 3-1 chip lead again. Couldn't close last time he got up here.
I wonder if Cherish is anti-sweating a little bit, thinking, you know, second's good enough. Just remember, she's second on the overall leaderboard.
Yeah,
in
but
points.
she's gonna stay second regardless of outcome.
Yeah, but you know, maybe just second place is enough. You don't need all the points, do you, Brock?
Well, the 25K PGT passport
Yeah.
does await the overall series champion, along with the Gilded Eagle.
Might have a domestic on our hands.
Plus, you know, yeah, no, I hear you. Two hearts on the king-queen high board here. Open-ended is Schulman. And Nick, by the way, you know, he has that intensity. I'm sure he didn't appreciate now being caught with his hand in the cookie jar a second time. But there is a game recognized game respect that he's going to have for Brock.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
yeah.
in that spot. He's not keen to, you know, embolden him with the compliment now, but
you know, Brock's
it's
got
waiting
that,
for him.
He's got that McLovin dog in him.
Yeah, sure. And now he's got an open-ender after he brought forward 125K on the flop. Let's see whether or not he wants to realize or just try to take it with another effort. this. Dials up 650 and over bet.
Boy, Wilson is just really doing his thing.
You know, one of the issues for Schulman in this spot is, of course, if a 10 or a jack are never going to win because I'm up against Queen X or King X, that's making this holding less attractive. If hearts are blocked, perhaps in addition, that also is problematic, but he is going to make the call, and that jack high is good right now. 1.3 more into the pot, which grows to 2 million. And the ace comes off.
What?
Both players hit. Now, granted, it's in heart form, but this is Broadway against wheel now.
This is an insane card.
Okay, whether or not a check raise is available to Nick is going to have everything to do with Wilson's sizing. 1.6, you could see Wilson ask for all of it, sub 1 SPR. Remember, Schulman check back pre, check called 125 and 650 on flop and then turn. How often would he then check this river with hearts? That's really the only thing I would imagine Wilson is thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a mandatory you're just all in. If you got it, you got it. You never see the 5 deuce coming. I cannot believe that that ace slid in.
Okay, so $1 million, is it? Or did it? No, it's 2 and ask for all of it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all in.
It was 20 high.
It's a double up for Schulman. Oh, my goodness. What a hand.
Why, I'll tell you what, the impact of that one.
I just had to fade that.
Not being worn
You had a-
overtly.
Yeah, thank you.
Fade the snap.
I don't
Certainly
know, though. I was going to call sometimes. Maybe I'm crazy, but
sending some shock waves through Schulman's system.
I might
We're dead
play
even
bears
now.
or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Jack 10 high is pretty good hand. Good stuff.
Well, there's a look at it. Dead even indeed, as just 150,000 in chips separating these two. Call it a blind. Re-rack and let's play for the 80K differential. These two really have been clinicians out there on the day. Just easy to root for both of them, by the way. I mean, just class acts, top of their profession.
I think this is one of the most fun and enjoyable heads-up matches that I've personally ever been on the call for.
They're beasts, these two, and it's almost like you're rooting for it to get into extra innings and beyond, so you don't have to stop soaking it up. A gutter here is what the 10-6 is soaking up on a king-queen-9 board. Two quick checks. Now a pair of 4s for Wilson. Both check again, board pairing 9. Wilson could break out the chisel here. You know what's weird about it is if you remove the ace high and jack high, all of a sudden Schulman with 10 high could actually find himself curious. You know, wouldn't I have heard from king, Queen X earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe even the 9.
A little
Yeah.
too thin, I suppose. What do we got going on, Brett? What is this?
Provisions, perhaps?
Reaching into the lunchbox? What were those little meals called that you could buy at the grocery store?
TV dinners?
No.
you talking
Lunchables. He's got a
Yeah.
he's got a Lunchable.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
If anyone in the poker room right now has a Lunchable, Wilson is the stone favorite.
Yeah.
Like if he just ripped back the seal, threw a cheddar slice onto
Yeah,
a
he's
cracker
got
and
that
housed it, I
Teen-
wouldn't flinch.
I know he's got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle lunchbox in the backpack and a Lunchable stuffed inside.
Is he at 31 years old? I don't know if he made the cut for TMNT.
Really? Hasn't that just kind of stood the test of time?
I don't know. It was really popular back when we were young.
It's huge now, too.
Yeah. Not huge, but better than the 8-4 is 6-3 on this 9-6-4 board where the 9 is paired on the turn, limped pre, no action post. $300, says Schulman. This into 375.
Oh, wow.
Brock makes the call, and that is the driest of rivers here.
Yeah, it's kind of cold for Wilson. It's.
Do you like an overbet? I feel one, but here's the weird thing. Both of the other times he dialed it up, it was a bluff and he got called. And when you dial it up a third time, you have to ask yourself how it's going to be perceived. Granted, the spot is different and very specific.
600.
Okay, 2/3.
Yeah.
Let's call it.
It just kind of guarantees a call, right?
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. But, listen, sometimes you get a little bit of that. I want my pound of flesh. Call me this time, big boy.
Right.
When I drop the overbet in there.
It was
confident
nice, I
that he
like
was
that
good.
idea, though. If you somehow find the overbet there. Just seemed really imperative for Schulman to bet the right size and want to get called and paid. And you saw how quickly Brock flicked in the 600. He was very content calling 2/3. Where you do the 2x pot might be.
I got to be honest, though. Anytime, it's like in a negotiation. You say your number, and the guy's like, deal.
Yeah.
You always feel like maybe you left little meat on the bone.
Oh, that eagle.
That audio clip captured as an eagle left no meat on a bone, by the way. That was just a content and proud bird. What, is it a screech? Is it a cry?
Yeah, I think it's like the eagle caw, the screech. It's a war cry of sorts. You know what? Next year, maybe if we have the budget for it,
Yeah.
I'm going to reach out and see if we can get a real eagle on site for all these events. That's a thing, bring in the bird trainer, the guy with the eagle, and let it fly across the studio for a little bit. Let's get a real eagle in here.
Well, over at the University of Auburn, they have War Eagle,
Right?
which I've actually held.
Really?
Yeah, former life. Not as a zookeeper, by the way, just the college football bit. And maybe you could reach out to their athletic director and see if we can get him on loan.
We got to have a zoo here in Las Vegas, don't we? Is there a zoo?
Can you just throw a garment on their talon and just kind of let them fly over?
I think so.
You don't have to actually transport. I don't know. Did you ever seen the clip of the Falcons all riding business class on like
It's a lot of ups and downs.
Emirates Airlines?
I said I came over a second.
Every single seat in business class was occupied by a
It's a lot
Falcon.
of ups and downs.
Some shake, like, anyway. The rail occupied
Yeah.
by Cherish, along with Adam
Yeah.
Hendricks. Brock enjoying the moment and doing so in the midst of it. Love to see that. Not going to play too cool for school here. Schulman on the assault. Six-five deuce. Both parties checking. And now Nick goes from gutter to top pair. And an inflated one. .450, the delayed declaration, and an immediate release from the 10 high. I've got.
So was that 2? Was that one first? That was 2. Okay, so now it's 7.5, 150.
Blinds going up, by the way. Small blind staying static. Big goes to 150. Some breaking news from the internet.
Okay.
Which advises that the sound that we often hear in film and television associated with an eagle, the cry, the screech, the scream, whatever you want to call it, is actually from a red-tailed hawk.
Oh.
But they pipe it in place of the, so
okay,
kind
thank
of
you.
the red-tailed hawk is the Foley artist of the eagle.
I'm also okay.
Oh, that's interesting. So an eagle must not have that great of a sound?
Now would not be the time for me to play some of the clips that apparently show the various calls of an eagle, but yeah, I think we've been fugazied on the eagle sound.
Well, I'll tell you
our whole
what,
lives.
the red-tailed hawk, what a brilliant noise that thing can make.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that.
What a bird.
Yeah. You know, you refer to it as though it's going to end up on your Thanksgiving table when you.
No.
But-
No. Off limits.
Yeah, I believe so.
Would never be able to catch it. Now, the turkey I tracked down on my own. Get right
You know,
out there in the woods.
I'm not kidding around. I was at my parents' house in Northern California.
Yeah.
I haven't lived there in a long time, but there's a pack of wild turkeys that have just taken over.
Oh.
And if you want to take over where Nick and Brock leave off at the end of this one, grab your mouse and head to globalpoker.com, where the U.S. Poker Open is running online through April 26th with daily tourneys, big guarantees, and a chance to win a Las Vegas prize package. Don't miss it. That's the U.S. Poker Open online at globalpoker.com. I have a video of these turkeys. I'm telling you, dude. They waited at the corner, and then traffic stopped at a red light, and they walked across the street in the intersection 3 deep. Directly in the lines, all the way across the street in
This
a
is in
busy
Cali?
intersection.
What part
man.
of Cali? This is northern
Albany,
Cali.
California is where I grew, right
Wow.
outside of Berkeley. And it's a real thing, by the way. I mean, I know this is not why we're tuning in, but indulge us if you will. It was a sequitur of sorts.
You guys didn't take one down, did you? Throw it in the freezer for later in the year?
By the way, they're mean. Dude. Turkeys are not, these ones, they're not nice. Nor is 5 high and 4 high on this board. Rates to play out uneventfully. Yeah, and they've proliferated. It was like I live up at the top of the hill, my parents do, and there's like a eucalyptus grove or whatever. That's where they kind of hung out. Now they're just in the city. They're just walking around the sidewalk, you know.
Like a pigeon.
And they don't, well, you know, on roids. 4-liner on board now. $375 as Wilson knows 4 high is futile. And he's going to catch the 5 high. Trying to fight his way back into this one. And you know, that sigh right there says it all. I mean, put yourself in this man's shoes, in his seat. You're just up against someone who's not going to give you an inch, isn't going to come apart. And, well, hang on a sec.
Come on.
I mean, are those the actual frames?
Wow.
So, I mean, Brock's super bad Wilson McLovin his way through this heads-up match. I see it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we can all see it.
The truck, I believe, perhaps the strongest of the doppelgangers. And I don't think this is going to be a revelatory experience if Brock is watching it and going, oh my God, you know what, you're right. Sure, he's gotten it. You know, it's on the nose. Not a stretch. Not stretching with the suited ace on the button. Brock limps it. Jack 7-5. Gutter for Schulman. Slips it.
By the way, you know who I was told? I actually kind of forget who it was. Maybe it was somebody in the chat a ways back. But Schulman's doppelganger being Pete Davidson.
Oh, yeah, there is. And, you know, New York roots as well playing into it. Second 5. Hitting this turn. Well, Schulman asks for the pot. And, you know, not exactly a whisper with 400 into 450. Ace-high giving it a chew, but ultimately probably expecting there to be some high-frequency big barrels followed up on the end. He just ends the affair right there. You mentioned Wilson potentially having the lunchbox with him earlier, and we went the Lunchables direction. But if you recall in Superbad, the lunchbox there contained something very different. The drawings?
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe that's also in the bag.
I don't think so,
Brock, but
I don't think there's, you know.
I thought you were going to lean in a Goldschlager direction.
No, I don't think that either. I don't think the drawings are there, nor the Goldschlager.
Who did McLovin and was it Jules? It wasn't Jules. No.
I don't know.
I forgot the gal that McLovin ended up with in the film.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a minute. Probably should go back.
Yeah, I would
call classic.
I might watch it this weekend.
Yeah, sure. You're gonna be watching WrestleMania. Okay. Top pair. That's what Schulman's watching on this monotone board here. Unfortunately for him, Wilson doesn't rate to be a patron. Two quick checks. 10 on the turn. One-third pot. Schulman tries to get a little something going. Out of Wilson. Not going to happen, though. Closing in on a 2-1 chip lead is Nick. You know, there's a weird, I'm not going to call it tilt, nor am I alleging that this is something that Wilson is suffering from right now. But there is a weird sort of phenomenon whereby someone playing really well can annoy you to the point of getting off your game a bit. Have you ever been there? You ever been at a table where somebody's just so lights out and it's just never getting caught, checks a big hand back when you're trapping, you know, never 3-bets when you're ready to jam, just never puts a foot wrong, and you tire of that a little bit?
Yeah, I think at this stage in these events, you just kind of get used to it. But you're right. I mean, back in the day when things were a little different, once in a while you'd run into somebody that was just great and a very tough out.
Yeah.
But these guys, right? The Wilsons, the Schulmans, all of the PGT regs. I mean, it's just a different environment. You know, you just know that no one's really going to hiccup or screw up, really.
Well, you know that the holdings here are going to be keen to continue. Advantage Wilson with the kings and his Broadway draw. Schulman trailing with the queens. 400K the pre-flop raise size, 250 the c-bet. Board pairing ace, now remedying any kicker issues. Both kickers pretty durable though. Pot at 145.
This is a very interesting one for Brock. He very well may feel like he's well out in front with that king, and we can start targeting the queen X. This is just pure value from Wilson. Huge decision for Schulman. What makes it extra difficult is thinking we kind of may have outs. You can just be dead here too, which is a problem. But he has too much of a hand. Yeah, there's the call.
Is that 8?
Yep. Another 1.8 into the middle. He is wary of the fact that the raise did come in on the button along with 2 streets of betting. He doesn't improve, and now let's see what Wilson draws up. Just 2 million in front of him.
Check.
Yeah. Just checking back there. Having a tough time identifying anything that's going to pay him. It feels like another king. We chop. The queen's going to get a little shy in the face of any reasonable sizing.
And the ace-X just never folds.
Right. A little finger wag from Brock Wilson, who says, not so fast, Mr. Hall of Famer. Working his way back into the lead. 3 blinds clear of Schulman, as the stacks have been diluted considerably since the onset of this heads-up battle, and what a battle it has been. Very much befitting the accolades surrounding both of these resumes.
This has been one heck of a fight between these two.
This is just a nice heads-up poker stream here. This is just sit back, collect the ideas, as Nick likes to put it so often. Jack 8, not as nice as King Queen, and in particular on a board like this, where Wilson smashes trips. King of Spades for backup. Schulman with the gutter.
And keep an eye on this too, because Schulman is the one that activated pre, opening to 375 with the Jack 8 and continuing now on the turn.
Yeah.
Down bet 200K.
Yeah, low calorie c-bet.
I don't think Brock's going to want to do much more than just call with this much of a hand. There it is.
Jack on the turn. Schulman finding improvement. Not the type he sought, but see how serviceable he finds it. We could consider continuing to apply pressure to a 10.
Yeah, and that's the worst card in the deck, really, that jack for Schulman. No longer draws live in this hand. He's going to bet here in hopes of targeting a 10x. It's sort of designed to act as a bit of a block, right? If we just get called again, we may just happily try and show down on the river. See if Wilson has any other ideas, if you will.
1.2.
And this is what we didn't want to have happen when we stuck that 450 out there, because it's real awkward. We can't feel safe about a 9 as one of the roads to improvement. How often is the jack good as it stands?
Well, he's trying to find a variety of hands that Wilson could be bluffing with. Must be he's discovered plenty, because he does make the call.
Yeah, and does so in relatively short order here, giving Wilson credit for the finds after the check call of 200 that don't beat jack 8. 6 of clubs is divorced.
This is a very critical and crucial spot for Schulman. Is he going to be able to get away? Otherwise, this could be over if Brock Wilson goes for all of it.
That's precisely what he's thinking about. Note that none of those semi-bluffs on the turn get there. The one card interactions for 4 to a straight, the spades. Wilson certainly making it look like his deliberations are heartfelt. All he feels, though, is an opportunity perhaps to stack Nick, playing sub 1 SPR and earn the title. He has jammed.
It's a really brutal spot for Schulman.
Did you start my full clock? It's all right. It's okay.
And he's out of time banks, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I hadn't realized that. Unless there's something tucked behind those chips, you're right. And that would explain why it is that he is very concerned about the clock. The decision's going to have to come far more quickly than warranted, and he's made it, calling, and that'll do it.
Congrats.
Wow.
Perhaps in part the lack of time banks, but certainly a victory earned nevertheless for Brock Wilson against the legendary Nick Schulman. 224K going to Brock, 144 over to Nick Schulman, who comes up just short, but gave it every ounce here in Event 6.
Brock Wilson, this is more than a heater, folks. This kid is phenomenal. The brain gets it done. His second win at the U.S. Poker Open, well out in front on the overall leaderboard. Boy, it's hard not to be impressed with him, Ali.
Couldn't agree more. As you see, the final impressions from the original field of 5, Vaysman, Deng, Becker, and then, of course, your final 2, Schulman and Wilson, in that order from 5th to 1st, as this one is in the books. Congratulations in order, of course, to Brock Wilson, who will emerge the overall series leader and picked up as much buffer as was available between himself and his girlfriend, Cherish Andrews. She slips into third behind Clemen Deng by a couple of points as the Eagle gets a shake, and now some rattle and roll for Brock Wilson. Not over yet, but certainly in prime position to be the overall series champ here at the U.S. Poker Open. Yeah, go say hi.
Oh, yeah, little
All right,
smooch.
in for the real thing.
Uh-huh. Wow.
That was a rated G kind of lip lock
It
there,
was.
but it's okay.
Keep it clean.
Yeah.
Yep.
Leave the dirty stuff to us here in the
Get
booth.
us out of here, Ali.
I will indeed. Certainly hope you guys enjoyed this edition of the U.S. Poker Open. It has been a true pleasure, as always, to have you with us. On behalf of our entire team out here in Las Vegas and my partner in the booth, Brent Hanks, yours truly, Ali Najad, saying so long, and we'll see you tomorrow for more from the 2026 U.S. Poker Open. Good night.